conflict resolution and how to show up when someone comes to you with something that they're hurt by or something that affected them is something that we don't talk enough about, and I think leads to so many misunderstandings and problems in relationships because people don't know what to do when someone calls them out and tells them like, hey, something that you did hurt me. And I think it's just this inner child within all of us that wants to feel loved and accepted, and it gets activated. So when someone comes up to you and tells you like, oh, like, by the way, like, this was hurtful to me or this hurt me, a lot of people, their first reaction is to get really defensive and be like, well, you did this other time and this hurt my feelings, or well, I only did this because of this, and well, I only did this because of this. And sometimes the person thinks that like, oh, they need to defend themselves and explain it because they're worried that the other person calling them out means that they're a bad person or that they're a bad partner or a bad friend or whatever it is. But the reality is that as much as you want to defend yourself in that moment, what the other person who has come to you with this thing on their heart that's been hurting them or upsetting them is they need reassurance right now. They need you to hear them and know and see that their feelings were affected by this. It doesn't matter what your intention was. It doesn't matter like what you meant to do in that case. So your explanation, it's not the time for that. The time now is, oh, hear them and really listen to them and then see them and acknowledge like, oh, I can see how those actions may have hurt you, even though it wasn't my intention to hurt you. And it's not the time to be like, well, actually, I only meant to do this, or like, well, actually, like, I did this because of this. Like, no, it's not the time. That person has come to you in a vulnerable space of being able to and willing to repair whatever relationship or dynamic you guys have by coming to you and being like, hey, like, this is heavy on my heart. I need to talk about this. So instead, when you come in and you defend yourself and you're like, well, I only did this because of this, or when you bring up past things that also hurt you that you stayed quiet about, maybe you feel like now it's the time to bring it up. It's not the time, because whenever someone initiates a conversation about something that has hurt their feelings, the most important thing that they need in that moment is to feel heard and seen. So I know your inner child within you is like waking up and being like afraid that they're judging you or afraid that you might come across as a bad person for the actions that you did. It doesn't matter in this moment because that person has come to you with what's on their heart. What matters is that you see them and hear them in that moment and allow them to feel seen and heard. Another time or after this has wrapped up, then you can come in with other grievances that you might have suppressed or pushed down. But in this moment is not the time to bring back this laundry list of things that you have been suppressing within yourself. Instead, it's to make this person feel seen and heard. Because the reality is that this person is not coming to you and telling you why they're hurt or telling you that your actions hurt them because they're like done with you and because they don't want anything with you anymore and like because they're going to leave you or abandon you. I think that's a lot of the fear that triggers it, is like, oh, like if I admit to doing this thing, then maybe this person will leave or maybe our relationship will be damaged. But the reality is people who come to you and tell you like this hurt me or this affected me, they're doing it from a place of they care about you too and they want to repair that relationship with you. They're not going to leave you because you made one mistake. But if you are coming into this conversation defending yourself and saying like, well, it wasn't my fault because, or like, well, that wasn't my intention because, like, that is going to make them feel unheard, unseen, and uncared for. And in this moment, if they are hurt, the priority of the conversation should be to repair the relationship, to allow the person to feel seen and heard. And then after the fact, after you've acknowledged their feelings, after you've acknowledged that your actions may have hurt them, even if it wasn't your intention, then maybe you can have a conversation about your actual intentions and why your actions did not align with your intentions and why it was an accident or why it was perceived the wrong way or why it was a miscommunication. But first, the most important thing is to see the person where they're at, to really hear them and let them know that you care by allowing yourself to put down the ego and see their emotions and see and hear where they're coming from.